Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back. So I'm gonna have a short and sweet one today. Have one just gonna talk about how to recover from a big race. So and then just one question on Achilles, and then I'm going to talk about a nice little quote or kind of saying that I like and how it might apply to running. So first thing is, well done on everyone who's done like their half marathon or marathon or 10K, um, or 5K or whatever race you were kind of getting ready for. Um, One thing you want to look at is how are you going to recover then? So with that in mind, what you want to be thinking about is for every mile of the race, you want the at least 1 day of recovery. Okay, so for example, if you do a 10K, oh, there's Larry. If you do a 10K, um, all right. Hey Larry, if you've done a 10K, you'd want 6 days of recovery. If you've done a half marathon, which is 13 miles, you'd want 13 days of recovery. If you've done a marathon, which is 26 miles, you want 26 days of recovery. Does that mean you have to have like 26 rest days? No. But it just means that you're going to be going easier, maybe no sessions unless you have another race coming up. Um, because ideally we want to separate our um separate our year into kind of blocks. So like we want a kind of preparation or fundamental block. So like essentially like your pre-season and training. So this is broken into like general training. This is usually about 3 months. General into specific. So general is just like getting back, doing your runs, um, yeah, just doing runs, getting like used to getting a certain amount of mileage done, not really focusing on sessions, and that could be like a month to 6 weeks as you come back in, maybe some very light sessions. Then you want to start getting into more of the like aerobic type sessions, which we probably call like our specific phase. Um, so what you're doing is you're getting into your like your weekly structure. So what would that entail? It would look like, your two workouts in the week. You'll have one kind of more thresholdy type workout, and then you'll have one getting a little bit more specific. Also, what we would do is in that specific phase, we might have a couple like races above the distance that we're going to be doing. So, for example, as say if I'm going to get ready for like a 10 or a 5K, say if that's my goal. Well, in the winter, I might be doing a bit more mileage and have like a 10K cross country or a 10 mile or a half marathon as my goal. And then it's easier to drop down the mileage, increase the speed as we get going. Um, then what we want to do is a kind of pre-comp into our competition phase will be getting some races in there. Okay, so again, for the marathon, you go like shorter races building up. For most other ones, you might go longer races and coming back down. Um, so in your prep for a 5K, for example, there might be a 10K in there 6 weeks out, or you might just have a 5K race that's not as serious, like say 6 weeks out. Get used to that, just to start to introduce some races that aren't as serious, or we start to put in some of those like specific sessions that we need. And I'm usually doing that like say 6 weeks out, and then 3 weeks out, again, depending on your goal, then you're going to be into your kind of race season. So for a marathon, it's just a marathon. Obviously, for a half marathon, it might be one half marathon and maybe one 10 mile or 10K 3 or 4 weeks later. Um, for a 5K or 10K, you might have 3 or 4 or 5 of those type of races in your kind of 2 month period where you're kind of maintaining. But after that, there should be what we call a transition period. And that should include rest of like about a week to 10 days. And then like kind of transitiony type work. So for example, if we said like you're taking your 26 days or like easier after a marathon, what I'd be looking at is like 1 week of like very like maybe I would look at walking, cycling, or swimming. Swimming's great, decompresses. Walking's quite good. At least every second day off, like say like so a complete week off, where maybe every second day you do something like 30 minutes like going for a walk or going for Dave probably could have done with this. You might have to listen back to this, Dave. Um, Going for a walk or going for a cycle. So we're just saying after a marathon, have a week of like very easy, either completely off or a week of like really easy, like 30-minute walks, 30-minute cycles, swimming, just easy stuff like that. And then, so as you said, we're having like our 26 days. So like the next 10 days then should be like getting back into stuff a little bit, but maybe focus on like the Pilates more, focus on gym more, focus on maybe doing a yoga session. Like, so, you know, when we're building up or we're in our competitive phase, I'll always find like, we naturally just might be spending more time. I'm just going to mute you. More time running. Like obviously, you know, for if you're building up, you might do 5-6 days a week. So it's harder actually to get the strength training in. It's harder to get the Pilates in. It's harder to get the yoga or stretching in. So take the second part of the transition phase to kind of double down on all the things that were maybe getting neglected. So if you have to choose between a Pilates or a run, choose the run. If you have to choose between a run or a strength and conditioning session, choose a strength and conditioning session. If you have to choose between yoga and a run, choose yoga. If you could even a hike or a swim. So yeah, so we break the transition phase into two. One is complete rest. I do like doing a little bit in that time, but if you literally wanted 7 days to 10 days, like where you do literally nothing, no exercise, take it. And then the other, like say 10 to 16 days, depending on what you were doing. Say if it was a half marathon and took 10 days easy, it would only be 3 or 4 days of this would be start getting back into like maybe easy runs one day and then some strength training, yoga, hiking, swimming, cycling, cross training. So it's like now you're like getting back into like your exercise routine, but you're still not focused on the running. And then that brings us all the way back to the start where we were saying in our preseason, which is our preparatory phase, where we're going to go back into 4 weeks of just easy running with our Pilates. So we're not doing any sessions. Then you're maybe after that month. So you're just getting back into trying to build your runs back up to what you were doing before, but no workouts. Then after that, you're starting to add in your workouts a little bit easier, kind of your thresholdy type workouts as we come in, and then you're back in for your next goal. I know people came in late. I don't know if that makes sense or if people have any questions on that. I'm going to take off my top. No questions on that or any comments on it? No, Monica. Well done, Monica. Well done, Dave, on the marathon as well.
Yeah. Hey on.
How are you?
Yeah, no, I was only wondering, like, you're saying like to take a week completely off and then it's only easy running. Like, do you kind of lose pace like by not running fast over the next month maybe? Like, you know,
Yeah, you
you
would. Like you're not.
you deteriorate like for all the hard work after doing like
Yeah, it's
you
getting
lose.
that balance. It's getting that balance right, isn't it? It's like you are going to be less fit. So, but what you're trying to balance that off with is we always used to say if you can take, like, well done on the PB, by the way. But if you can take, or the good time anyway, if you can take if you can take a break before you have to take a break, before you're kind of broken up, it's really good because then it's like we can take maybe a shorter recovery. So you are going to be less fit, but then you got to think like, well, what race am I getting ready for now? Like if we put you straight into, say, for you, like getting ready for a 10K straight away, it's like, you know, your body is a bit wrecked after doing the marathon.
Yeah.
So I think it's like you will get less fit, but that's not a bad thing because you also get that recovery. And if we think of like the way the body responds, the general adaptation syndrome is the kind of commonly accepted way that the body works. It's like, say you're at this level of fit, like, so you're at a certain level of fitness, you train hard, then you recover, and then you don't just recover back to the level you were before, you have this super compensation. So that's why we're like tapering and we're trying to hit this peak. Now, obviously, when you were here, you ran your marathon, really good time, but that's going to like tire you out again. So what we want is taking like the 7 days will just allow you to come back up and really get the benefit of that harder workout or harder race. And then if we were like, if as long as we're patient, we don't have to go back in racing, like say within the next month. We can kind of go, we can, you see, it just depends on the person, but we can kind of go like, say, take 7 days easy, then take like another week or even 2 weeks of like running, but also like getting in our like Pilates, and we're not losing that much fitness, but no real sessions. And then we can come back into our like, say we have 12-week 10K blocks. So that's a 3-month build towards our next race. Now there'll be a couple of races in that. But it just allows you to build, and then you're in. Then if you have your 10K, say, or your 5K that you're getting ready for, then we wouldn't go back down. Then you'd have a few days easy and you prepare for the next race, and we do a series of races. But when it's something big like a marathon, I think you got to accept it's like, I'm not going to hold this peak. So let's now on purpose take our downtime to really absorb that training, get the body feeling good again, and go back into a build phase. And we're building from a stronger base, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's grand, yeah.
What are you hearing from that? Because I don't know if I'm scrambling it around a bit.
Yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, you need time after doing so much. Yeah, just come back down and build back up again, basically. Like
Yeah, and you can,
I probably haven't taken more than a week off, I'd say, in the last 3 years, and I'm going to take a bit of time now this time around.
yeah, and like when I take the time off, like yeah, taking a week, you're not going to lose anything. And then
Yeah,
like getting your body stronger, like going for maybe your Pilates, and then we have gym sessions in the week. Plus, then getting in your runs, like just make the runs easier, like 45 minutes or 60-minute runs, and not worrying about the sessions just for another week. It's only like 2 weeks to maybe 3 weeks, but
yeah,
allows everyone to freshen back up. And then what you'll find is you'll be less fit than you were, but you'll bounce back very quickly. Like within 3 weeks, you'll be back up doing like the kind of aerobic, like you'll be hitting aerobic times in like 3 to 4 weeks. Because it is a big thing where one of the guys who runs with us, and he's still very good, he's like sub 15 minutes, but he always says, he's like, the thing with E, like say me and Brian Maher, when he be train with us, it was like, the thing with E is that I can train with you like 80% of the time. And then as it's just dialing in towards a race, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I can't live with these guys in sessions. Because obviously I'd be like sub 14 minutes, like maybe about, I wouldn't always be a minute quicker than them, but roughly like 50 seconds quicker than them normally anyway. Um,
yeah,
but that's because like we do have, like, this is the way we do it. Like August is always off for like elite runners, and then it's like getting back in. September is just like running and just like building back in, and then October you start to crank it. November you're cranking it, and then you're maybe doing like cross country races in November and December, and then you have a little mini break of like a week, where you're easy. Like we'd run a race on Stephen's Day, then you have like a week that's easy, and then you'll build again, and you might have some races in like March, or depend, like some people do indoor, some people like March, but they're not like really training for them. And then it's like May and June, it's like we're smacking these. July, we're in that like 3 months of like 5K block, 10K block or whatever, and then you're back to August and you're chilling, going for swims, a bit of walking, cycling, doing my yoga, doing my strength training or whatever. So no, I think if we do it this way, Dave, like take the time, it will allow you to have a better bounce back. Brilliant. Same with you, Monica, like taking the time just to like let the body recover. James, you're just unmuted, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, I just have one question. I have
Yeah.
I did a marathon there as well on Sunday, but I have a
Oh, brilliant.
6K cross country in mid-November, the British and Irish Masters there, 6K. So I'm
Yeah,
just
you're
wondering,
gonna have to roll through.
yeah,
So I'd still take this week easy though.
yes.
Yeah, what I would do is on Wednesday I would do I do 4 by 6 minutes, but only in zone 2. So like you wouldn't even have to stop. Might be a good idea to stop and stretch. I probably wouldn't even bother doing any strides or anything like that. Just maybe stop and stretch, and then literally 6 minutes at zone 2 with a minute off recovery, because they'll just get the legs turning a little bit. And
Yes.
I'd be looking to get back into like an aerobic type session on Saturday, like maybe 4 by 7 minutes at zone 3. And then get back into like, because you'll be mid-November then maybe try get a cross-country type session in the week after to, you're about 10 days out, and then maybe just go back into like 4 by 6 minutes at zone 4, and maybe another type of kind of 5-10K cross-country type session.
Okay.
That makes sense. So yeah, like I think what you're going to have to do is just like prolong the competitive phase. But when the cross country is done, then James, it might be an idea just to drop down just for like a week or 10 days and then allow it to build. Because like Dave was saying, I think a lot of times for people who aren't elite, because no one's guiding it, it's just very like, it's just there's not the same structure. There's not the kind of, and I think that's why people love marathons, by the way. I think people love the day, obviously, the day is a great day and when it goes well, but I think it's just the training. I think it's just that like you have to hit the training, like you can't miss this week because it builds onto next week. So there's a very like nice structure to it. And I think what we should be doing is taking that on further and going, okay, well, now we do this. What's the structure after the marathon? And the structure after the marathon should be like easier time. And then it should go into like base phase. And then it should go back into another like plan for the 5K, for the 10K. And we have all those plans laid out. So like they're all there for everybody who does our courses. They're there for you. So like take advantage of them. It doesn't have to be just a marathon that you plan. You should have all your plans for everything. And again, it's going to be kind of more base stuff. And then 6 to 3 weeks out, depending on the type of runner you are, we're going to like start peaking you up. Anybody else have any questions there, or I'll get on to my second thing?
Okay. Can I just ask, Owen, so I've no plans to do any other kind of training block. I've done 3 this year already, so I'm kind of looking forward to just not having any kind of regimented structure. But I will I'm planning to take it easy for the next few weeks anyway, and then I do have a 10K in the calendar, and like I could take it or leave it. I'll just see how the hamstring and the feet are and everything. But in terms of maintaining, say, base mileage for like a few months, would you do like sort of 75% of like what sort of level of mileage should you be kind of doing if you're not kind of following a structured plan, like roughly per week? Or do you have an idea? Compared to say my marathon training, maybe it's like 40 to 45 a week, or maybe probably averaging 40.
Look, a lot of it would be like how many days you have.
About 5,
5 days. So like
but shorter runs,
Yeah, and I'd be looking at making sure one of them is your Pilates.
Yeah.
So then you're going like on your 4 days. And then that's a great question. Even if it was unstructured, Monica, I still would be doing like, even as I said, 75% of the workouts. So if I was if I was doing it right, it would be, what days do you exercise?
So I do Pilates Monday, and then I run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday. So I'll probably still be able to run 5 days plus the Pilates.
Okay.
All of that.
Yeah, perfect. So I would actually, if I were you, right, I'd do the Pilates Monday. I'd run Tuesday. Is that a club session?
Yeah, well, I was actually no, all of the stuff during the week is on my own, just because of my circumstances and work and kids and everything. But I think I was thinking of going back to the club for the Tuesday sessions kind of towards the end of November.
Yeah, towards the end of November would
Yeah,
be good.
and
Yeah.
then maybe running early. I have a treadmill, so I would normally get up at 5, kind of run at 5:30. So it's pretty grim these days, you know, so dark.
No,
So
yeah.
I
Well,
was
like,
thinking of just doing on the treadmill really Wednesday, Thursday.
yeah, and like for the next week, I literally take a week off, as we were kind of
Oh yeah,
talking about,
yeah,
to 10 days. And then when I get back in, just keeping the Pilates going. Then I come back into Pilates. I do an easy run, like 45 minutes or something on a Tuesday. The Wednesday then, like say from the middle of November, if I wasn't going back to the club session, I might just start doing like, you know, the ones you like, say 4 by 7 minutes at zone
okay,
3.
yeah,
I would just start picking out the aerobic type sessions, the ones
grand,
that you like, you know, even it could be like 5 or 6 minutes of zone 4, pick up the pace on the treadmill for like a minute, do 3 by a minute of that, then 5, like, you know, two sets
yeah,
of 6 minutes at zone 4, 3 by a minute at like a bit faster than that, and then
okay,
taking a little break. So just something in the middle of the week so like when you go back, it's not this big shock. So maybe one
grand,
workout, and then I'd be looking at like maybe a gym. Like we always have gyms every week. I don't know if
yes,
you have any things. I'd be looking at
I do,
maybe
yeah,
I'd be doubling down and doing a gym just for like you know, say obviously it's the end of October now. You're only going to be getting back into structure training like I'm talking now at like say 10th, like the 10th of November.
yeah,
But I would like, we go Pilates, we go one gym, and then we have our runs on Saturday, and maybe take off Sunday for a little while.
okay, yeah, fair enough. That's grand. Yeah, I was thinking I do need to do more gym, I think, just to get stronger, really.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
you've
I
had,
was,
as you said, you've got PBs and everything. And you've had like got a good block, and this was the first block that you were like your hamstrings a little bit sore, your
yeah,
feet is sore. I think it's just you've
mhm,
done a lot of running, so it's just
mhm,
like you're an example now of that's an example of like, okay, you've had a good year here, like
yeah,
PBs and everything, good year. Now let's take us into the transition phase, and that should
okay,
be like less running, and then it's easier like to start building that back up in like December or January.
yeah, okay, perfect. That's great.
Yeah, so we go Pilates, easy like 45 minutes on Tuesday. This will be from like a very easy session. So the first 2 weeks will be like 3 by 7 minutes at zone
Yeah,
3. Just something like, or the progression run, or something like from the easier weeks, 10 by 30-second hills, you know, and then gym on Thursday, rest day Friday, and then maybe a run on one of the days on Saturday or Sunday, and then take the other day off.
okay, that sounds great. And just sorry, just one other question. When you mentioned hills there, like I'm not very good on hills, you know, like say in Dublin, it felt quite hilly, but I do run by feel when I'm on a hill, you know, rather than trying to keep pace, you know,
That's
because
the right
I
way to
will
do it.
die. But is there any way of getting better, like faster on hills? Is it literally just by doing hill repeats?
Doing my hill repeats and like learning that like you just want to lean into the hill very slightly and
Okay,
shorten your stride and pump your arms a little bit more. And then on
okay,
the downhill, try lengthen your stride and try be more relaxed. Don't like force the downhill. You'll naturally go faster and just let yourself kind of like run through it. You know, so I'm leaning
okay,
forward slightly and I'm like letting the legs just open up my legs a little bit, but I'm like constantly nearly like shaking out my arms as I go down the hill.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. And then look, we might just add those in, just that little bit of power. Like, you know, even if you have on Saturday or Sunday, like just do an easy run on the Wednesday and then maybe just add in a 10 by 30-second hills on the weekend, if that's going to be your session. But I think I'd
Yeah,
only keep it
yeah,
at one session, drop one of the runs. So be going 1, 2, yeah, just doing the 5 days. And 2 of
grand.
those would be a Pilates and gym. And then towards the end of November, we can start like adding back in a run. And then December it'd be the same structure as you'd have, but just less mileage, like not worried about but by December I start looking at like a 60-minute long run, do you know, then
Yeah,
65, 70.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Just something. And if you're at 70, then it's like you're at quite a good one.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Sure. And again, I love these, like the specific questions, Monica, are great. So like just popping on and asking me like this, what I'm doing this week, and we can kind of adjust it from there.
Okay, cheers. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Owen, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you know, I'm still trying to sort out this hamstring problem.
Yeah.
And it's got me,
Lassen.
plans got me going to, now it's 4 minutes run, 1 minute walk rotating, and it's starting to ramp up faster after that. And my hamstring is still sore when I run. It's not getting worse,
Okay.
but I'm sort of surprised after 7 weeks it's still sore.
That's crazy.
So,
Are you doing that seated? Like, do you have any bands that you can do that seated hamstring curl, or are you doing that
I
anyway?
haven't, I've been doing the Pilates sessions, and I've been doing some kind of hamstring walkout kind of things, not so much the curls, but you know, when you walk your legs out in a bridge
Yeah,
and you hold
yeah.
and back and forth, some of that. But I'm wondering, and I've put in a second sort of banded kind of workout in the week that's meant to be like an injury prevention. It's not necessarily targeted to hamstrings, but it does give some hamstring work.
Well, if
But
you
I'm
can,
wondering,
Laurie, sorry to
Yeah.
like, even like if you can tie your band around like your banisters, the stairs or something, and put your leg in and just do like a hamstring curl just to add that bit in.
yeah,
So
I can
if you
try.
if you're in a even if you're standing, right, but just have your leg at a 90 and 90 and then pulling back in and go slowly back out.
Okay, I'll see if I can figure that out. It's not so easy with the furniture here.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Would the table move?
yeah.
Yeah. What's the heaviest weight you have?
Here I only have 15 pounders, 2 of them. Dumbbells.
Do you know what you could do? Lie on your stomach. Do you have your bands with you?
Yep.
Lie on your stomach, keep your legs like so your legs are here, wrap the band around the legs, and then I'll try to go this way. One leg is sorry, I'll go this way. One leg is bending up while the other one will hold the resistance, if you get me.
So the one on the
So
ground.
you're
is
lying on
holding
your stomach, yeah.
Yeah.
And then as you keep one leg down, you're just bringing the knee in towards your bum and slowly back out.
And where's the dumbbell? It's on the other one?
No dumbbell, just use the
Oh,
band.
sorry. Oh, just with the band. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I was
Just
going to
overhead.
see if you had a heavy dumbbells, you could like use the dumbbell to keep the weight down. But yeah,
I
let's
see.
just add that one in as well.
Okay.
What is it out of 10? The pain when you're running?
Oh, I'd say like 2 or 3. It's not bad. It doesn't change the way I do things. I'm just surprised it's still there. And I'm wondering at
I
what
know.
point I should watch for it. Like as things increase, because I say it's sort of starting to ramp up a bit now, that I'll be doing like like half an hour this weekend, 1 walk, run 4. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold. My voice is off.
Yeah, I think, look, as long I just keep an eye on it if it's not getting much worse. Sometimes with those tendon things, they need the load.
Yeah.
So it can just, like I'm the same with my foot, like you're going to be sensitive to it anyway, for a while. So yeah, I would stay running, and as long as it's not getting worse than like that 3 out of 10.
Okay.
And then reevaluate, and like if it's like it's feeling roughly the same, but you're getting up the distance, I think I'd be okay with that. Especially you've been off 7 weeks, so it's like, is the rest going to really help it anymore? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering if I should add in a 3rd strength session too, like the Pilates, a general banded intervention kind of thing, and then 1 targeted solely for hamstrings, with heavy weights.
So yeah, you do the Pilates, the heavy weights one, or you're not doing the heavy weights one at the moment?
I'm not doing that one at the moment. I kind of waited on that just because I was trying to avoid overdoing it, and then I got a cold. So I kind of held off.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
All right, I'll add that one back.
Even if it's a thing of then you're not running as much, you know, like I think I'd keep the running in, but like try give myself more rest days, which actually comes to this guy. I had a question which was like, best way to go back running after 9 weeks off with Achilles bother. Achilles isn't sore anymore, but hopping on one leg shows it isn't as strong as the good one. So it's similar idea. I think it's like you're saying, Laurie, like taking like a day off in between. And for you, Laurie, I think I'd go, you know, Pilates, run, even if it was a rest day, then heavy gym, run, rest, run, you know. So like say you got 3 days between the runs, which gives you that kind of time to recover. And then I'd still try keeping, you could do an upper body gym or something, or upper body stuff, but I think I'd be trying to give it a little bit more rest in between it now. Like I should probably take this advice myself a bit more to allow it recover, because say, like we have upper body gyms as well. So if I was like Pilates, then a run, then the heavy body gym, then a rest day, and then back into even like a run, either Pilates or heavy body rest, and that's the 7 days.
Okay.
Back into Pilates.
If I was trying to double any up to add more rest days, would that make sense too?
No, I don't think so. I think it'd be just the load that we're looking at.
Okay.
Like now, if the only time I would double up is this, if like there was life stress that meant it's handier to have an extra day, then that's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be intentionally loading one day to be completely rested the next. It'd be like, look, the Pilates is fine then. And if it's someone like you're like, look, I just like to be working out 6 days in a week, just do an upper body, like a core and upper body session. So that's the same with this guy coming back. Like, just make sure you're taking a day off in between as your jog coming back in. As Laurie was doing, you can do a minute on, minute walking for like say 20 minutes at the start. I just saw that, Monica, that you have the Sealy Cup. I won that one year. I got the old Northern Ireland champion, which is a bit of a joke because I'm not obviously from Northern Ireland.
Oh, well done.
I know, I felt a bit bad though, because I was like literally I thought it was a guest. I didn't think I'd win it, and then they gave me the medal and I felt terrible.
Good on you.
Yeah, just see that Sealy Cup. So sorry, so the for the guy with the Achilles, just take a day off in between at least as you're building back up. And I think that'll get the leg stronger. And the other thing then is, like I've said to Laurie there, don't, just because like the Achilles is feeling good, keep the rehab going. Okay. And to the point where if you have to, like the next 3 weeks should just be like every run or every week is just about being like in a better place than you were before. And what that is like, I'm running more and there's no pain, or there's no increase in pain. Okay. So like, be like, Brian Maher has a great line, and it's like the slowest way back is the fastest way back. And what he means by that is like trying to rush things never works. So we'll just go back running easy for like, definitely like say for 4 weeks, day on, day off, then adding like a very easy like heart rate type session as you're coming back in, then where it's like just at your zone 3, and the heart rate, cause you're unfit, should keep you at a zone that your kind of Achilles can handle. But again, if it's like, oh, I'm not getting as much time for the Pilates or rehab because I'm running now more, I'd cut a run out just to do the thing. And I usually go minute on, minute off, 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, up to 30 minutes. And then I just start doing 30-minute runs. And then I'll keep 30-minute runs for at least a week, every second day. And then I'll just go up by about 5 minutes. 5 minutes if there's no issue, then to max 10 minutes more. And then I'll just be building then to try to get back up to 60 minutes. So it can go like 30, 35 or 40, 45 or 50, 55 or 60, and then hold it at whatever you normally do. And then, have a couple of weeks of like your normal running, and then add in like zone 3 runs, like zone 3 sessions once a week. So it's a decent old build up when you've been out for a while, but you're better off doing that. You're building fitness all the time, but you're allowing the Achilles to recover and come back right. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. All right. Jesus, great. Delighted with this. Great. Sometimes I come on this going, I don't know what we're gonna, well, I have 1 or 2 things in my head. But we got some great questions there. Last thing I wanted to say was, there's, you know me, I like sayings. It's going to do different sayings, but one I liked was, I was teaching a class, and I was trying to tell them like, you know, to understand the principles of the things that we do much more than this is the actual thing that you do. And they're kind of getting it now where we can look up different exercises once they know where it fits in like their S&C program or what they're doing. So it's the one of like when the prophet or sage points to the moon, all the idiot sees is the finger. Meaning that thing, it's like he's trying to tell you like, here's the big idea, here's the moon, and you're like, okay, what's the detail like, you know, on the finger? Like, so it's a religious thing where people get like, you know, they're trying to tell us like, you know, be nice, and like they're trying to give like glimpses into how to live, but we're like getting super hung up on like the actual specifics of what they say rather than like taking the actual message. So, you know, and like the Old Testament Bible is like full of that. It's like, you know, they weren't so stupid that they thought like one man and one woman who have two children, like, you know, when people take it literally, it's like it's not a literal document. There's stories and they're like metaphors for like different things. So I was trying to think, do people have ones that I was trying to think of ones where that applies. And if people are listening back to this, throw it in the comments, right? So where that saying of when the prophet or the sage points to the moon, all the idiot sees is the finger, where people in running then take things way too literally, like they really focus in on this is the way to do. The one I had in my head, I was trying to think of a few others. One is zone 2 running. Like people think like zone 2 isn't a thing. Like the idea behind zone 2 running is don't be flogging yourself. Like it's the idea of like there's different energy systems. You go into anaerobic and aerobic. And the great thing why they were saying zone 2 was you want to be like there's actually 5 zones. And up to zone 4 is aerobic. So I would consider what they're saying zone 2 is really to mean you should do like in session zone 2, 3, or 4. Don't be going so hard that you're actually working like the anaerobic system. But people get like actually transfixed on like this set like pace and get really like bogged down on like, is this zone 2 or zone 1? Where it's the moon, the idea is like just don't be flogging yourself into anaerobic when really we just want you to build your aerobic system, which feels a little bit easier than you've been doing. I was trying to think of other ones so that was one I thought where people were like that runners take things way too literal. Like they go for like they're trying to go into specifics when something's more like, look, that's more of a general concept. So zone 2 is one of the big ones I see. 80-20 would be another one, like 80% should be easy, 20% should be hard. Look, if it's 70-30, it's not a big deal. If it's like 50, it's just, again, it's like what you're trying to say there is have a structure on your week. Like don't have every day be very easy. Don't have every day be very hard. There's not like, you know, there's not like an 80-20 of it has to be this way. It's just like you do 2 workouts in the week, 1 long run, 2 easy runs, keep like a little bit of Pilates. I don't know if any of you 4 have any other ones that they take, or as I said, put it in the comments. We love and see what people think. Like ideas that runners take too literally. I'm gonna put it into chat, see what that comes up with. Doing too much too soon, literally leading to injury instead of improvement. Trying to interpret healthy eating as an immediate strict diet, get overly fixated. Yeah, again, yeah, like making sure like you're eating healthy. Yeah. I find the Google AI is crap. I guarantee ChatGPT would give me better answers than that. Let me see. I'm using ChatGPT for all my emails right now. It writes things so much clearer than I should just use it for this. See what comes up. No pain, no gain. Yeah, like that. Like yeah, easy run. Run the tangents. I don't know what that means. Not new on race day. Trust the process. Means ignoring any sense of fatigue or common sense. Because the plan says that's true. Like sometimes you do have to adapt. Listen to your body. Translation, keep running until your body starts shouting. Oh no, they were crap. Anyway, Fanny, putting it out to humans in the comments if you have any good ones. Yeah, so just to recap, if you've done a marathon, half marathon, it's always good to block your things. You should be into transition day. For every 1 mile that you've run hard, you should have 1 day of easier running or rest. Especially like say if you're like Monica at the end of a season, take this time to recover, recuperate, focus on the other elements of your training to get back stronger so then you can build into the next phase. Secondly, if you're coming back from an injury or starting to run, try give that a second day off in between just to allow the body to recover. Don't be worried about a little bit of pain. Your body is hypersensitive, more saying that to myself. And if there's stuff that you can do also to enhance it. So sometimes we get back in running and we're like, oh, we don't have time for the rehab anymore or this or that. Still focus on that. And if it's things that you can't get both in, get in the rehab. And as Brian Maher says, the fastest way back is the slowest way back is the fastest way back. You know, taking your time, being patient with this allows you to build that fitness and build that robustness so you're not having to break down again. Great. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Owen. Bye.
Thanks, Owen.
See you.
Bye.